Have you ever had something that has surprised you before? I think the obvious answer to that question is yes. But I think today, at least for myself, I have a couple of things that I learned that are minor surprises, but like, hey, that's actually surprising to me. I didn't really realize that. I don't know. Have you ever had something that surprised you, Leo?
Nope,
Never
never.
been surprised.
I've never once been surprised in my life.
See, that's the answer I would expect from you right there. That's great. This is fun. How many? So obviously, with the Mirrors podcast, we're reflecting on things that we've learned, experienced. Out of curiosity, because we try to go pretty natural with this, how many things do you have for us today?
I have one main one to talk about that hopefully we can relate a lot of things to
That's
it,
great. That's great.
especially you.
Hey, well, for the
So,
audience, for the listeners, we don't collaborate usually. Like last time we did the book because we both knew we read it, but like the only
mhm.
job in this podcast is to have something to talk about and to be able to talk back and forth with each other. So I have three things today, but
Three? Okay.
mine go from small, insignificant, not very serious to a lot more serious, but not like deep serious stuff or anything.
Yeah.
So that being said, I'm going to start with my simple one just to kick
Yeah.
us off, and then we'll just go from there. So, as you know, I started training a couple weeks ago for a Spartan race. Did I tell you this?
Yes. I don't remember what the Spartan race
You
is.
know, I said as you know, but like I've been telling some people, but I didn't realize if I told you or not. It's basically the one I'm going to train for is like a half marathon, which a lot of with a lot of obstacles in between it. So like rope climbs,
Oh, yeah.
swings,
Okay.
carrying things, whatever. And I've already had a couple injuries with it, but what I have, I know, right? But what I learned was not anything with that. But I went to Walmart the other day because I was like, I'm going to be running a lot more. So I got a cheap little $11 Walmart watch. And I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
it's nice. So it just tells time. You press this button and the light turns on. Yeah, you can't see squat with that on. But anyways, and then obviously it does the stopwatch stuff, just basic things.
Yeah.
But I've learned that watches make you look older and more mature. Maybe it's an opinion, but I'm
Yes,
just like,
for sure.
you put on a watch with a suit. I put on a watch when I'm running. I just have a watch right now. I took family pictures when I wore the watch for family pictures because it's like I look older with this. I look more
Yeah.
mature. So I don't know. Is there any accessory piece that you're like somebody wears that it takes them to another level?
Well, it's got to be like the watch is the main one, but I've tried to like dabble in rings that look cool
Hmm.
and everything, but I don't have the right size. So I need to either get them fitted or adjust them. But there's like for fashion, accessories are pretty important to like elevate you. I mean, even like a nice pair of glasses. These aren't
Glasses is a
that
big
nice,
one. I think.
but
I think.
um, but yeah. So there's like I wear this all the time.
That chain
I
does
think
work.
those types of pieces are really good at elevating your style or making you look older,
Hmm.
more mature.
Well, I just thought about it
So
too because I was like, is that true? And then I was thinking about it. I was like, if like a 10-year-old is going for a jog and they have a smartwatch on, I'm like, they automatically in my mind are like, oh, maybe a little bit older, or oh, they must be
yeah,
training, or like a cross country kid. It could just be, I don't
yeah,
know, but yeah, with rings, you mentioned rings. I don't like rings on my fingers. I don't like it. And then I got married, and it was actually hard for me to wear a ring all the time. Now I
yeah.
feel naked when I don't have it on because I'm so used to it. Um, but yeah, I don't vibe with the rings one. But yeah,
I would only wear them in like more high end scenarios. I don't think I would be able just to wear one like I wear my chain or anything.
like a suit, wearing a suit or something. I
Like a suit or just like going out somewhere
mm,
for just a little bit and then coming back and then taking it off or something.
I will say when I got my gold wedding ring with my gold watch, on with like a certain suit for a wedding or something, it definitely like with a
Mhm.
gold a clip tie clip. I was like, I like that.
Yeah.
That all looks good together. And that gold watch
Yeah.
too, just for It was a $15 JCPenney one, but it looks nice. So it doesn't even tell
Yeah.
time if I'm being honest with you. It's broken, but it looks good.
Yeah. It's it's kind of crazy to me how some people they like buy watches because they retain their value so well. So that's why some watches like
Mm,
Rolexes and stuff are so expensive. It's like it'd be so hard for me to spend that money on like thousands of dollars on a watch because I don't know, I just feel like I'm gonna ruin it. I'm never gonna want to wear it.
yeah, yeah, that's real. If I got $1,000 watch, would I actually wear it?
Yeah.
Probably not. Probably not. I want to
I
jump
know.
into my second thing real quick. Is that okay?
Oh, yep,
Just
go ahead.
because my first couple are pretty simple, and then we can dive more into yours. So we recently went on. My wife's family had a family vacation out to the Black Hills in South Dakota, and celebrating her parents' 45th anniversary. So we did it 5 years ago when Charlotte and I were just engaged. I remember because I was sleeping on like a couch in like the basement, and now we have a kid and we're all there together. Um, but I remember the first time I went out there 5 years ago, I was like, meh, I think it'll be cool, but like I've been to the Rockies and stuff like that. But then you actually get to the
Yeah.
Black Hills, and this is one of the things that surprised me as well, kind of along with the watch. I was like, nope, the Black Hills are still actually awesome. When you get like into them, they have the same mountainous features as the Rocky Mountains and things like that. So I was always surprised as
Yeah.
like the Black Hills actually are really cool. On the southern side of them, you have Custer State Park, National Park, maybe even. You have Mount Rushmore. You have Harney Peak or Black Elk Peak, which is the highest point in South Dakota. It's like 7,400 feet, which is like half the size of a 14er in the Rockies. But what with elevation things, what really matters is where the ground level is. So I was, for
Yeah.
example, when I was in Mexico, outside of Mexico City once, doing some training for directing a mission trip, and we stayed at this place, and there was two volcanoes nearby, and one was active. You could like see smoke come out of it. It was like that's cool, also a little scary,
Yeah.
but those volcanoes were at like 17, 18,000 feet, but we were staying at like 14,000 feet, so they didn't seem that high. And so
Yeah.
if you get to the top of this high point in South Dakota, you feel like you're on top of a big mountain because everything else is so much lower. So, long
Yeah.
story short is I was just like surprised again. It's like the Black Hills really are pretty cool. So if you can't make it all the way to the Rockies, it's also a little cheaper than being out in Colorado. But yeah, so I thought that was cool, and I just wanted to ask you: have you ever been to a place that like sounded simple but was surprisingly pretty cool?
Well, I haven't done a ton of traveling in my life, but I mean the areas around Duluth that we would
Mm.
hike and stuff, those have been some of the coolest I've seen, which isn't like it's probably not compared to the Black Hills or
Beat in Bear Lake
Colorado.
though, pretty nice.
Yeah, that was probably the coolest like nature I've seen was that hike. How long does it take to hike the Black Hills or something like that?
I mean, anything you could do, because it's bigger than you think it is too. And so when we were there
Yeah.
with like 10, nieces and nephews, a bunch of little kids, we did like a mile in, mile out hike. So like 2 miles total, and it only took like an hour
Yeah.
and a half.
But you guys still got up like
But then,
really high
oh
there?
yeah, well, I guess to be clear, I did that hike 5 years ago when I didn't have
Oh,
any,
okay.
so that one
Yeah.
took a little bit longer, but that was a lot of fun. So yeah, you can do the longer ones and you can do short ones.
Yeah. I'd love to do something like that at some point. And maybe we will. I know I think we talked last week with our sister and her fiance about going over there sometime like in the next year or so. Just be a fun
Heck yeah, I would do it.
kind of camping vacation or whatever.
Yeah, I'm all on board for
So,
that. Yeah, that's legit.
you're not invited.
I got my own car once it gets fixed.
Yeah.
All right, what do you got for us?
Okay, so mine, I wouldn't call mine deep, but so what I was just talking about, our sister and her fiance just moved out, and it's been a while since I've done something like that, or like I've never moved. But what I realized And I was thinking about it after they left is how many different emotions moving specifically emphasizes.
Mm,
I couldn't think of anything else that had like that many strong emotions in it, honestly. And so, obviously, the first one, if you're moving, you're usually very excited. There's like, sad scenarios and stuff, but like the average person that's moving somewhere new is usually very excited because it's what they want to do, progressing in life, and they're happy about it because who wouldn't be happy about moving to like a nice newer place and growing their life or their family or whatever.
yeah.
But then with that excitement, you're also, it's probably one of the most anxiety inducing things someone can do is moving away from home
Right.
and to a new place that they don't know like anybody unless they're moving with someone, I guess. But that's got to be so scary. I've never experienced that. And then you're sad and you like miss the people you move away from and you miss the memories of the home that you live in. That's probably one of the strongest ones. And then you can get frustrated easily with like the process, and
Hmm.
if you forget something, you're bound to forget something or something's bound to break. It just always
Yeah.
happens
Yeah.
when you're doing something like that. And then you have like hope that the new place is going to be even better than you expected and stuff like that. I just thought that was really interesting experiencing part of that, even though I've never moved. So, and I know you just recently moved, so I wanted to ask you like what was the best part about moving besides like having a nicer house because that's too simple.
Yeah. Right.
And then what was like the hardest part about moving?
Yeah, for sure. Well, okay. What were those? You like mentioned like five things like anxious, hopeful, sad,
It was
excited,
excitement, happiness, anxiety, sadness, frustration, and then hope.
frustration. Frustration's a
There's
funny
so
one
many.
because it's real in terms of there's one more home loan question I gotta answer, thing I gotta fill out. There's one
Yeah.
more application I gotta pay for. That's $60 for
Yeah,
no
the
good reason.
finances.
There's,
Yeah.
or it's like, oh, we move into a place, we move the couch, and then of course we scrape up the wall, so we already have to, repaint
Mhm.
the new wall that we just moved into. It's like, dang it.
Yeah.
Well, but to answer your question, I think I want to preface it by saying that I'm a unique. I've learned that I'm more unique when it comes to these things. That change doesn't bother me to the level that it does for a lot of other people. And so it doesn't, I don't
Mhm.
want to come off that I don't care, not things that aren't difficult. But I
Yeah.
definitely focus more on the silver linings and the positives than any of the negatives with it. So the hardest part by
Mhm.
far, though, especially from where we moved, was we had a great community of friends. And we had some people that were like, second moms to us in the church. And then Charlotte met all of her, my wife Charlotte met all of her friends up there through her physical therapy program. And so
Yeah.
leaving all those young families that are starting to have kids now that we played sand volleyball with and YMCA volleyball with, and just like we could hang out with at any time, it'd be easy, is definitely the hardest part. And it's not that we don't have friends around here, but when you grow friends over 3, 4 years, you can't just replace that. It's not the same.
Yeah.
So ironically, just the other day, Charlotte went on a call with all of her old girlfriends up there, and they were all talking for like an hour or so on the phone. It was just really fun. And one of them got pregnant for the first time, and they told the group. And so it's just really, really cool.
Yeah.
But again, hard to be away from that because you want to support your friends. Um,
Yeah.
so that's definitely the hardest part. I can't say new house for the excitement answer, like the newer house. Gosh,
Yeah.
I feel like it's another typical answer, so I apologize. But it's our move brought us a lot closer to family on both sides. And so the amount of
Yeah.
family we've seen, especially from my wife's side, has been exponential, which has been awesome because we have, an almost 2 year old. And so her
Yeah.
hanging out with cousins and seeing grandma and seeing auntie more has been awesome. I think the last thing I'll say is that our sister Grace did move like 12 minutes away from me, which was not planned for either one of us. So that was almost a providential, like, dang,
Yeah.
that was actually awesome. I didn't realize that. So
hmm Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun, I think. I'm excited to spend time there too.
I get to see her on her birthday coming up.
Oh yeah, true. But I thought with like the moving, so I've wanted to move for a while, just like thinking about a lot of things. There's a lot of reasons. I just think it would be good to move. It's not really my choice right now, but but it's so weird wanting to move so bad or like as soon as possible. But I know when I move, it's gonna be hard and I'm gonna be like really sad about leaving this house and this town and everything.
Mhm.
It's just gonna be so weird and like all the memories you're gonna have. And I know you've moved like multiple times throughout your life in like
Maybe too many.
childhood till now. Yeah. And I have never moved at all, you know.
I didn't
So
think about that.
it's like
That's actually weird. Yeah.
it's super it's like complete opposites.
Wow, that is true. Which might be why, going back, that might be why I don't struggle with it as much. So I'm just like, oh, it's a
Yeah.
thing you do. It's a part of life. It's whatever. But if I put
hmm
myself in the perspective where, like, oh, I actually never have done it, there's so many unknowns to it. And then depending, right, when you do move, it's going to be like, where is that going to be? What family are you going to be close by? Are you going to be able to
hmm
bring Finn, your dog, with you? I mean, probably, but
Yeah.
it's like still.
We One thing I've always talked about that I would love to do for a short period of my life is have like a tiny house
Yeah, yeah,
somewhere.
yeah.
Not like a mobile home or a trailer house or anything, but like a nice tiny house that's like I can like decorate myself and have fancy and just have me and Finn in there and living for like a year or something. I
Uh,
think that'd be so fun.
you're talking. That's like the bachelor life that everybody wants in their mid 20s for a couple years. It's hilarious. Well, it
It
sounds.
doesn't have to be
I
alone.
guess you didn't say you say, you didn't say mobile home. You said not a mobile home or whatever. I was thinking you could just get an RV.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to do something like that. And like there's one in town that just recently got built. But it's like in place of a normal house on a block with neighbors and everything, and it's for rent. And it looks nice. Like it's a little small. It's supposed to be small, I guess. But
Tiny house
it's like
is a
even
little
smaller
small. Huh?
than it's like the size of this room, which I'd want one like a little bit bigger. But then it's like I wouldn't want something like that because there's immediate neighbors. I would love to have it on like not in the country, but at least some space in between bigger houses because then it just looks weird and it's not the same vibe.
Yeah, yeah. What do you
I feel like
think?
the point of a tiny house is to be more like secluded.
Yeah, exactly. Get on some like land almost. Yeah, yeah. You said it well.
Yeah,
You said it well. What do you think would be? What would you be most excited about being in a tiny house?
definitely. I think it would be, I wouldn't say easy, but it would be, I guess I'd just be excited about making the inside of it specifically, like exactly how I'd want it.
Okay, the decor,
So,
the
like
like vibes.
the interior, yeah. I'm a big fan of interior decoration, even though I don't do it that much or whatever, but I like the concept of it a lot.
hmm hmm
So it'd be fun to do it myself.
That's another thing that not bringing it back to myself. Well, I guess I am. But Charlotte, my wife, has told me that I actually got a pretty decent eye for like interior decoration and how things look, how things are set up. And I was like, I
Yeah.
do. I didn't realize I do actually like that. Actually, one thing about moving that I was excited for, I didn't mention, was I got this poster that I love a while ago, but I wasn't able to put it up because I didn't have a spot for it, and we were gonna move. So I said,
Yeah.
well, I'll just wait. So, um, yeah, things like that. It's
And with that, we're going to change this into an interior decoration channel.
you remember when we did Guy Average
Yeah.
Snapchat back in the day? So everybody
Yeah.
knows about
Perfect parody.
yeah, Dude Perfect. a bunch of those guys that do trick shots and sports things, and they kind of made it big. So that one time I was back home,
Kind of made it big. They're huge.
yeah, you're right. So one time Leo and I were at home and we said, let's do a parody to it. And we called it Guy Average instead of Dude Perfect. And we would do all these average athletic things and just freak out about it like we did something awesome. That was a lot of fun. It's like maybe we could do a podcast and call it Guy Average and do the same thing. But I think we would run out of content real quick.
Yeah. People are like, this is stupid.
This is stupid. They're probably saying that right now too. So it doesn't. No. Let's see. We are at 21 minutes. I feel like my last point is going to take too long.
You do?
Yeah,
How long do you think it's going to take?
because I think it's going to be like a 10-minute conversation. Okay, well, let's say, I'm going to say my topic for the next time.
Okay, sounds good. I'm sure I have things I didn't talk about that could have correlated with what I talked about today, but I'm sure I can bring them up the next time as well.
You bet.
So,
You bet. All right, from here, us here at Mirrors. Peace.
peace.